Hi everyone, I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of July 13th. I want to quickly talk about last week because I feel like it was a huge cosmic week and I think we're still going to be dealing with a lot of the energy that unfolded last week. So we had Uranus moving into Gemini, setting us up on a new 7-year cycle. This is big energy, and I don't know if you were able to notice a sense of something shifting or something needing to change or something feeling a little bit shaky as you started your week. And it's just something to kind of keep an eye on. I really think the lessons of Uranus and Gemini will become more apparent to us next year because Uranus is still finishing up in Taurus. But I do feel like we're getting little clues dropped for us right now. So what was coming up for you at the start of the week? Uranus in Gemini is kind of a signature for throat chakra awakening, really opening up this part of our body, a part of our spirit being, how we communicate, how we express ourselves, and how we want to share our story and share the words and wisdom that come out of us. I really think that's part of what Uranus is going to be awakening for all of us as it begins this new 7-year journey. So just something to kind of keep your eye on, to maybe ponder about how the way you're communicating, the way you're sharing, the way you're showing up, might be slowly starting to shift and change. And of course, we don't really get to see it until the 7-year cycle is completed, but something to keep an eye on. And then at the end of last week, we also had that Capricorn full moon, which I think was quite heavy for a lot of us. It brought up a lot of tension. It brought up a lot of emotion. And there was sort of this push-pull dynamic with this emotional, sensitive Cancer season that we're in, with this kind of harsh, get to reality Capricorn energy. And those can sometimes clash. So whatever emotions have come up for us, the Capricorn energy, we could use it to kind of take a more practical approach, to look at things more black and white, to kind of, not get so caught up in the emotion of it, but also like kind of have the power to deal with it. So if you still have lingering emotions from last week or lingering things that have come up, this is a very good week to start to release and let go of all of it, through the breath, through journaling, through exercise, through talking it out, whatever it is that looks like it for you. Just whatever has come up, give yourself permission to really fully release it. The full moon stirs a lot of stuff and we can feel quite scattered and anxious after it. It's our job now to let it go, to release it. So give yourself that space. And if you want to, as always, I have a Capricorn full moon ritual up on foreverconscious.com. If you want to try that, you still have plenty of time to do it this week if you'd like to, if you feel you need that. Okay, so now getting into this week, we have more energy shifts. We have on the 13th, Saturn going retrograde. It will retrograde in Aries for part of it, and then Pisces for the other half of it. And then at the end of the week, Mercury goes retrograde in the sign of Leo. So let's break this down. We have a growing number of planets now traveling through the underworld. Neptune is retrograde, Pluto's retrograde, and by the end of this week, we'll have Mercury and Saturn in there as well. So this is adding, the retrograde energy is adding, and when that happens, our focus tends to go back to the past. History starts to repeat itself. Stuff starts to come up from the past that we haven't dealt with. With a Mercury retrograde, it can also shine a light on intuitive pings that we have perhaps ignored. Or if we've been going about our day or going about something, Mercury retrograde can sometimes bring the dawning of a new idea, or the dawning of, hey, wait a second, why am I actually doing this? Wait a minute, this is not what I thought it was. That can also come up for us with a Mercury retrograde. Saturn retrograde is a little more subtle in that it's tapping on the lessons, karmic lessons that we have been working with over the last kind of 6 months or so. So the last 6 months, whatever lessons have come up for us, this is a time where we can really feel them, kind of feel the lessons really climaxing, if you will, where we're really able to understand and wrap our heads around what we are supposed to be doing, how we're supposed to be approaching something, whatever kind of challenges have come our way. This is now the final testing moment. I always like to think of Saturn like our master teacher, and you're training to be this Jedi, and the lesson is hard and the challenge is hard. And when Saturn retrogrades, it's kind of like the final test. It's like the final piece of homework that we're given, and then we pass, we graduate, and we get rewarded by Saturn. When Saturn always goes direct again, we get the rewards of our hard work. So it's sort of like rewarding work when Saturn goes retrograde. At least that's what I like to tell myself. So we're really thinking about what has been coming up for us over the last 6 months, and then those lessons kind of crystallizing so we can graduate and move on from them. So that's a little bit of the energy of our week ahead. Like I said, sort of in a more basic level, we're getting a slowdown. We're getting this feeling of history repeating ourselves. We have, or repeating itself, I should say. We have a lot of fiery energy too. And I think that fiery energy might be stirring this week as well. And maybe we're thinking about our relationship with fiery energy. Like when I say fiery energy, what comes up for you? Some of us may feel like that we have too much fire. We get too heated, too overworked, too, ambitious about stuff. And then other people may feel like they don't have enough fire, that they're too passive, that they're too small, that they're too, don't have that passion bursting out of them. Whatever comes up for you when you think about fiery energy, that's what we're really being called to balance as well. Not just this week, but this is kind of an ongoing trend that we're going to start seeing as we're moving into lots of fire, air energy coming up. So maybe you're thinking about that as well as you move through the week, where you can balance fiery energy in your life. Okay, I am going to pull a card from my deck, the Cosmic Astrology Oracle. You can get your own deck. They're available on Etsy. There's a link in the description below if you'd like to get that. And let's shuffle a card just to find a nice card to help guide us through the week. We've got this growing retrograde energy, which tends to stir the past. It tends to bring stuff back around. It's kind of, we get a lot of energy supporting us to go back over things, look over things, to really listen to our intuition, especially with that Mercury retrograde. So where can we best put our energy this week? That's the card that's going to guide us. Oh, okay. We got the card Vesta, Earth and Fire. So Vesta is one of the goddess asteroids, and we were just talking about fiery energy, and you can see in the picture, even her symbol looks like a fire, and there's a lot of, it says Earth and Fire. So let's take a look. It's card 36 if you want to play along. And when I say play along, if you have this deck at home, what you can do is put Vesta on your altar, or you can pull your own card for the week too and put it next to Vesta, and just sort of have it be like your reminder for the week. So that's card 36, and that's Vesta, one of our goddess asteroids. Vesta is the goddess of earth and fire. Her astrological symbol is that of a flame. Well, yes, it's pretty clear, a flame. Representing our own inner flame of life, force, energy, passion, and power. This card is your sign to ignite your inner flame and return to what makes you feel excited and happy to be alive. Well, it's kind of a perfect card because we were just talking about fiery energy and thinking about that fiery energy, and I didn't think about this before the card came up, but thinking about it as our inner flame, that inner flame of our life force energy. And actually, it's funny, if you have the calendar, the moon calendar that I make, the mantra for this month, July, is also about life force energy and your passion and your power, what lights you up. This card is your sign to ignite your inner flame and return to what makes you feel excited and happy to be alive. Getting caught up in the humdrum of everyday living is so easy, but this card calls for you to reconnect with what lights you up. As she is the goddess of earth and fire, matters of the home may also be on your mind at this time. Creating an environment that allows you to thrive is an important message of this card. Cleansing your space, both energetically and physically, may also inspire new insights and wisdom around whatever questions you have asked. So, nurturing our space, especially after that full moon, and I can feel it in the collective. There is a lot of energy sitting up here. How can we clear it? How can we let it go? How can we soothe and release the tensions that have come up for us? Vesta is also connected to sexual liberation. Your sexuality or blocks around your sexuality may be linked to what is coming up for you right now. Create a healthy space to communicate or honor any desires. I think the last part of that is important. Honoring your desires. How often do you honor what you really desire, whether it's sexual or not, in your life? We have so many different desires, and how do we nurture them? How do we give ourselves space to feel like we're getting, our passions looked after and what we desire taken care of? Additional meanings of this card: channel energy to your solar plexus. So that's the sort of seed of fire in our belly area. Do something that excites you. Release blocks of shame or guilt around receiving pleasure. Create a stable home environment. Service your needs. Ask for what you need, especially in your relationships. All right, I think that's kind of the perfect card. Going back to this fiery energy, lighting the flame, thinking about our desires, thinking about what lights us up, and approaching this fiery energy from that lens. Perfect card. I didn't think about it until the card came up. All right. I hope you all have a great week. I'll see you next week. I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com. Thank you so much.